The NFL draft is done and over, and I am going to be breaking down each and every team and grading out their draft. So check back every day, because one team I will do every single day, and I'll have it up here on YouTube for you to watch. We'll go over every prospect that they drafted, as well as some key undrafted free agents that they may bring in. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments section, and I'll be sure to address them for you. Also, just be aware on my draft grades, no one fails the draft, especially right after it. Even no one in this draft is going to get a D or an F from me, because everyone had a talent. Everyone did something. So if you think the grades are a little bit high, that's just me not going to too much extremes. And maybe in 3 or 4 years, when we look back on this draft, then we can see who really succeeded and who really failed. So sit back, relax, enjoy me as I break down every single team this year. The draft expert, Shane Hallam, shows off his knowledge. Writing mock drafts, prospects from the best college. Breaking down tape, he might develop a man crush. Tearing up guys, taking questions in a rush. Comparisons, learning lessons, Shane saves the day, oy vey. Hulk or Banner, doesn't matter. Listen, cause here's who can play. How's it going, everyone? Today we're going to talk about the 2010 Arizona Cardinals NFL Draft to kick off the NFC. And in the first round, the Arizona Cardinals got Dan Williams, defensive tackle out of Tennessee. And I thought this was a very good pick. I thought Williams fell a little bit too far. He's a solid player. He's going to eat up blocks. He'll make the sure tackle. He's not going to have overly athletic ability. He's not going to be Terrence Cody at 400 pounds. But he's just a guy that works hard and plays well and rose his stock enormously at Tennessee. Had a great offseason, so I thought it was a very good pick. In the second round, they got Daryl Washington, linebacker out of TCU. I think he's a perfect fit for their system. I think he can fill that Carlos Dansby role of pass rush at times, making the good tackles. He's not a guy that goes sideline to sideline overly well, and I don't think he's going to need to do that in Arizona. He has some trouble shedding blocks, but I think this system is a perfect fit for him, and he can instantly be a starter, instantly make an impact, because he is so technique-driven. He's good at coverage. He's good at rushing the quarterback. He's good at making tackles. He's just an all-around great player, so I thought this was an excellent pick by them. The third, they got Andre Roberts, wide receiver out of the Citadel, a guy that I like a lot. I wonder what his fit's going to be, though, in Arizona. I'm sure he's going to return some kicks. He did that at the Citadel. We even saw in the offseason, he caught everything. He catches everything. And he ran in the 4.4s faster than a lot of people thought he would run. So Andre Roberts is kind of a do-it-all type of threat, a perfect slot receiver, maybe reminiscent of Steve Breston, who's already on the Cardinals. So we'll see where he fits in, but I just think you're getting a solid player with this third-round pick who, if an injury happens, someone goes down, he's going to be a great fill-in guy for them. In the fourth, they got O'Brien Schofield, linebacker out of Wisconsin. And this is a guy that looked like he could go in the second or third round, and then he had an excellent East-West Shrine game, made that conversion from a pass rush defensive end to an outside linebacker, and he looked great doing it. And Romeo Crennel, who coached the team, really liked him. And then he was going to go to the Senior Bowl because certain people were held out or injuries happened, and he ended up tearing his ACL. He's probably going to have to take a redshirt year this year. That being said, he's a great pass rusher, and in 2 or 3 years, I think you're going to see O'Brien Schofield be a success on the Arizona Cardinals. In the fifth, they traded up and got Skelton, quarterback out of Fordham, a guy with a really big arm. They traded away one of their starting corners, Bryant McFadden, for him. But he's a nice developmental QB in case Matt Leinart doesn't work out. You have Matt Leinart and Derek Anderson there, and then Skelton following them. So I think Skelton will be a guy they bring along slowly. He has to work on his accuracy issues, reading defenses he really needs some help with, but he has all the physical tools and he has the size, and that's what you want to see from a quarterback that you take in the 5th round. So I really like that pick. In the 6th, they got Jorrick, who is a player that really didn't play at all this year. Really drafted based on his athletic potential in the secondary. He's someone that can play safety or corner depending on where you want to fit him in. Probably going to start as a special teamer. Really needs to learn how to read and react. Really needs to learn the technique and the basics. But he has a high ceiling, has high athleticism. So we'll see how that goes. Then in the 7th, I got Dray, tight end out of Stanford, a pure blocking tight end, a guy that can be a run blocker, probably help out with the pass blocking as well on that line because it still needs a little bit of work for Leinart. So I think Jim Dray is a nice investment as a 7th round pick that you can at least get a solid player to contribute. So overall, I'm going to give the Arizona Cardinals an A. I like what they did here. I like Dan Williams. They got a starter out of him. I like Daryl Washington. They got a starter out of him. I think Andre Roberts is a great player that'll find a way to contribute. I think O'Brien Schofield can be a starter in 3 years. I think John Skelton is a nice chance that they took. I really like the players. And yeah, they could have addressed other positions, offensive line. They maybe could have added a corner earlier. But as a whole, I like this draft. And I think that's what the Cardinals do is they eat up value. They eat up value. Guys that fall, they get them. And these guys end up contributing. It's a very good draft strategy. In terms of undrafted free agents, a couple that I liked. Casey Knips, offensive tackle out of South Dakota State. Small school guy who's pretty athletic. I'm interested to see if Russ Grimm can bring him along and maybe pull something out of him if he starts out on the practice squad. And also A.J. Jefferson, cornerback out of Fresno State. Big fan of him. Thought he should have gotten drafted in the 5th round or so. Showed some athleticism at Fresno State. And then this offseason, he played well in the All-Star games that he attended. So I'm a big fan of A.J. Jefferson. I think he's someone that can make a squad and a weak cornerback squad for the Cardinals. I think they improved, especially for maybe not the immediate presence of the Cardinals, though I think Dan Williams and Daryl Washington can add to that, but I think especially in the future. So there you go. Tomorrow, look for the Atlanta Falcons. Thanks, guys.